Hey, welcome back to the 5-minute video. Again, I'm your host, Keith Giles. Thanks for listening. Also, want to thank real quickly those of you who made comments and offered questions and things like that and follow up. So, Ken Eastburn, thank you, my friend. Hirsch, thank you. Doug, thank you. And Lady Deirdre, thank you. I really do appreciate the comments and things like that. And I will probably do a follow up on some of those later on because some of those questions were off topic a little bit. So I want to stay on the topic of discipleship if I can a little bit. And a couple other things I want to say about discipleship. So just real briefly, just to finish up what I was saying in the previous one, the real reason we miss discipleship, and discipleship is such a confusing thing to us, is that we don't invite people to follow Jesus. We invite people, in other words, we create converts. We don't create disciples. We don't create followers. The whole Great Commission was Jesus saying to the disciples, go into all the world and make disciples of all nations, teaching them to obey all that I have commanded you. That's what they were sent to do. That's what we, by default, are also sent to do, which is to not create converts, not get people to raise their hand and say a prayer so they won't go to hell when they die. No, because Jesus never did that, and the disciples never did that, and that's not what you ever see being done in the New Testament. What it's all about is saying, not if you died tonight, would you be in heaven tomorrow, but if you were alive tomorrow, and most of us will be, who will you follow, and how will you live your life? And the invitation that Jesus offers is, follow me. So what we should be inviting people to all along is discipleship, is to follow Jesus. Because we don't, we treat it as some additional thing or some other step. So anyway, I just wanted to explain that. The other thing that I think is important to talk about in moving this along, this whole idea of discipleship, is to understand this is a very important thing. This is like the second most important thing to remember in discipleship, is to make sure that people are following Christ and not following you. And so my friend Neil Cole gives a beautiful description about when he was a lifeguard here in Long Beach. And we learned pretty quickly, if someone's drowning and you swim out to them, don't let them grab onto you because they'll pull you down and you could both die. But what you do is you swim out to them just close enough to hand them that ring, that flotation device, and you hand them that flotation device and you let them grab onto that. And then once they calm down, then they realize they're not going to die, then you swim alongside them and you bring them to the shore. That really is a beautiful picture of what we should be doing in making disciples. In other words, we don't want to create dependency upon us. That's another big mistake. We have a lot of ministries that basically create this lifelong dependency of the person on the pastor or of the person on the leader. And that is not what we're supposed to do. We don't want people depending on us. We want to teach people how, on their own. We want them to learn how to hear the voice of Jesus. Jesus says, I'm the good shepherd. My sheep can hear my voice. That means everyone who's a follower of Jesus, everyone who's following the good shepherd, has the ability to hear his voice. And so we just need to help people learn how to hear his voice on their own without help from anyone else. No, they don't need to ask me what Jesus says or ask me what Jesus thinks. You can ask him. You can pray. You can read the Word. You can receive, from the Holy Spirit. And part of discipleship then is coming alongside one another and helping each other do that better and better and better. And that's really why, and I may break this out a little more in the next video, the next 5-minute video, but that's why a community of believers is so crucial to effective discipleship and to effective disciple making. We need to surround ourselves with other people who also love Jesus and are wanting to learn how to know him better, hear his voice better, follow him better, draw nearer to him, and we can help each other do that. In fact, not only can we help each other do that, the whole thing is designed to only work in the best possible way if we are connected with one another in a community. And we'll talk about that in the next video. But again, thank you guys for listening. Please leave a comment or a question at the bottom, or send me a question or comment through email or Facebook or Twitter. I'd love to hear from you. And we'll talk again. God bless, and let the kingdom come.